Hey friends, how many times have you stopped yourself from saying yes to an opportunity because you didn't feel ready? Maybe you thought you needed more experience, more credentials, or you really thought, I just need more time to prepare. If I just had more time, I think I'd be ready. I think I'd be ready. What if I told you that ready really isn't a choice? It's a feeling. And feelings aren't always facts, my friends. So today, I really want to talk a little bit about how stopping yourself from talking yourself out of opportunities because you didn't feel ready. And I want you to really start believing and stepping into the confidence that you have, that you are capable of doing so much more. Now, I could talk here a little bit about living up to your potential, but I believe we are living our potentials. I believe that we are doing what we think that we're doing. And when I say, can we do it better? I don't mean that to be you need to do more. I just think we all, many of us, especially now as I've been, doing a little bit more coaching and I'm having some of my coaching clients say to me that they don't feel they're living up to their potential. And when I ask, well, what is your potential? And they don't really have an answer. So let's talk today a little bit about that. Ready is a feeling, not a choice. So if you're feeling not up to your potential, is it because you're not ready? Ready is a feeling, not a choice. So are you choosing to not do certain things because you're telling yourself that you're not ready? I know that we fall into that trap of other people tell us we're not ready. Other people say we shouldn't be doing something. Other people. What about you? That negative voice in your head is telling you, nope, that person said so. Nope, I can't do that. All the reasons why you're not ready to go do something. So let's talk a little bit about the myth of readiness, the false belief of readiness. How about that? Most people believe they need to feel completely confident or prepared before taking a big step. Heck, friends, how many of you, if I ask you today, right now, how many of you feel completely confident on a scale of 1 to 10? How many of you would probably say 5? Not just in a project or raising a family or knowing how, if you're driving, confident that you know where you're going, the quickest, the fastest, the safest way, but just general confident. How many people, if you're honest with yourself, would give yourself anything above a 5? I know many people would give themselves below a 5. So how do you instill confidence? How do you take any sort of step if you're not confident? So how do you feel completely confident to say yes to a big step? This belief stems from fear of failure. It stems from wanting to be perfect, and it stems from comparison. I want you to think, when you get stuck in this mindset of I'm not ready, when is ready ever going to come? I want you to shift your mindset. There is no perfect, right? There is no perfect progress over perfection. You hear me talk about that a lot here. If you're new here, those are things that you're going to hear, right? If you're new here, by the way, welcome. I appreciate sharing space with you. And if you've been here with me before, again, thank you for being with me. But let's talk about, we want to have progress over perfection. So I want you to really reframe readiness and how you're approaching it for any business decision. Because I do believe if you make a big business decision, there's something that goes with your life. And if you make a big life decision, there is something that will affect you in your business, right? Readiness isn't something that you feel before starting. It's something that you gain while you're doing. Let me say that to you again. Readiness isn't something you feel before starting. It's something you gain while doing. I'm going to share a case study with you today. Many of you have been telling me you enjoy the case study, so I'm going to try to bring them in most episodes while I have them. Now, it's no secret that I'm a fan and staunch supporter of women's sports, and I'm honored to work with several female athletes at different stages of their career. So today I want to share with you a little bit about Katie, a standout college basketball player who has dreamed of playing professionally. Now, Katie had an incredible basketball record. She led her team to multiple championships, earned accolades for her skill and her leadership. both high school, even before high school, and through college. But when it came time to make the decision to move up to the next level, the pros, she hesitated. She thought to herself, and she said to many of us, well, I'm not ready. The pros are a completely different level. I'm not ready. I won't measure up. I won't find success there. What happens if I say yes to going and I fall flat on my face and I fail? Everything I worked for will be a failure. Everything I did before will be for naught because I wasn't able to take those lessons and move them into the pros. That's a lot to unpack, my friends. That's a lot to unpack. But that's how sometimes people feel when they're stuck. They don't realize they have some choices and they have the opportunity to move forward if they would just not worry so much about being ready and being perfect and being compared to others. Her fear of not being ready almost held her back from declaring that she wanted to go pro. So after conversations with many of her trusted high school and college coaches, Katie decided to take the leap. Her coaches reminded her, the skills that you need to grow at the pro level will only develop once you're there. You hear me say this often. You heard me say that earlier. It's not what you're doing now and what you know how to do, but it's what you're going to learn when you put those skills and those talents into play. When you challenge what you already know and you get to see, my gosh, I do know how to do this. You get to see another level of yourself when you try to move to the next level. So are you ready? If you sit all the time back and never take the opportunity to try something different, to move forward, to try a new career, to add a new product, to totally shift and shake up your life, how will you ever be ready? Because if you don't believe that you're ready and you're stuck because you don't know what to do, how will you get ready? When will that perfect time come, right? I'll insert one of my own tips here that I shared as part of my consulting with her, and I do regardless of your niche or your career. You can't grow and improve upon the skills that you have by staying where you are. You have to keep learning and moving forward, whether you feel ready or not. Again, ready is a feeling, not a choice. Now, that's just my humble opinion, friends. It's my podcast, my humble opinion, right? But I share this from the stage when I'm speaking quite often. You can't keep learning and moving forward if you feel that you're not ready. And really, if you have success right now where you are, celebrate that. Find joy and purpose and everything in that. You've succeeded. Yay, applause, standing ovation. Do you want to go to the next level? If you're happy where you are and you have time freedom and you're paying your bills and you're doing good in commuting and you're giving back, my goodness gracious, good for you. That's what we all strive for. That's what we all want to do. But if you want to do a little more or push yourself a little more, let's face it, that entrepreneur spirit is all about what's next, right? And I think that is a lot for athletes too. They achieve all these awards and these goals and they don't know what to do. And for many, there's not a pro sport to go to here in the United States. We'll talk about that with Katie in a few moments. There's not a next level to go to for many of those sports. So I want you to keep that. I want you to really hone in on that. You have to keep learning and moving forward whether you feel ready or not, because you can't grow and improve your skills and your talents unless you do that. So Katie decided to go pro and was selected by a team in Europe. When she arrived at her first training camp, she quickly realized that she wasn't the most polished player, but she also wasn't expected to be. Those coaches knew where she was coming from. They knew her level of playing. They knew the game she played. They knew all about her awards. That's why they chose her, right? She wasn't expected to be everything that she was now on this team. Instead, they wanted her foundation, her skill sets, and they wanted to grow upon that with her. They needed what she knew how to do mixed with the other players that they selected and have a whole new recipe of a winning championship season. She learned to lean on the feedback. She learned to grow from the feedback. And guess what? By her second season, she was a key contributor to her team's success, and she earned a spot on the European All-Star team. Now, Katie's decision to take imperfect action, declaring for the pros before she felt ready, allowed her to grow to the player that she aspired to be. She realized that readiness was a feeling that could have held her back from making a choice to move to the next level. She doubted herself being ready before stepping into the opportunity to continue on with her love of basketball and achieving what will hopefully be her next goal, playing in the WNBA one day. Ultimately, that's what she wants to do. But until then, there was another level she could go to. If she would have never taken those steps to play at that level, what do you think the odds are that she would have been confident to go to the WNBA? She needed to continue to hone her skills and grow her skills, even though she felt she wasn't ready. So my Fabbo listeners, I'm using Katie's story to remind you that growth happens when you say yes to opportunities before you feel ready. If she had waited for that perfect moment, she might still be sitting on the sidelines. By taking the leap, she not only proved her potential, but she also expanded on it. And that is what each and every one of you can do. Get off the sidelines. Make the moves you want to make. Make the big plays. If you fall down, you skin up your knees, you're going to get back up. You're going to learn that, okay, running really fast on the left might not be my strong, but if I run really fast on the right, I'm going to choose and, right? Not this or that, but and find a way to learn from your failures and success and have failures and success together help you to find your next milestone and what you want to do. Why you're never really ready. Biology of fear. How fear and self-doubt trick the brain into believing that you're unprepared. Mindset. Remember, we talk about mindset here. Fear and self-doubt are powerful emotions, and while they can serve as natural responses to uncertainty, they often work against us. And here's what's happening when here's what your brain is trying to tell you when these feelings take over. So your brain's job is to keep you safe. So your brain is wired for survival, not growth. When faced with a new challenge or opportunity, your brain will interpret, oh my gosh, what is this? What are you thinking? Where you find potential here? I'm going to tell you can't do it. And fear activates that part of your brain that is responsible to fight for it, to want to fight for it. This triggers the thought in your head of, okay, I'm not ready. What if I fail? I hear you. And you're listening to that brain that's giving you all the things that tell you can't, that you shouldn't, that you're not ready. But your brain, the biology of the brain, is wired to keep you safe. It wants to keep you comfortable and in that safe place. And by now we all know that growth happens outside of your comfort zone. That negative bias will amplify your self-doubt. The more noise you have in your brain about the things that you can't do will continue to fuel your self-doubt. I want you to be your biggest fan. I want you to be the hero of your story. Your clients are the hero of the story that you're creating for them. Your clients are the hero, and making them the hero will see just how good you are at what you do. You bring your skill set to life. They hire you for the things that you know how to do, that you're an expert in, not perfect in, but you're an expert in. And when you get to do those and you mix it with other people, you're going to have an extraordinary event or an extraordinary outcome. And that's why they will be the hero of their story, because you're letting them shine, because they're letting you permission, for lack of a better word, to let you do what you know how to do, even though you might think you're not ready. Your clients are ready to believe in you. I need you to believe in yourself so that you can continue to move forward and your clients will see you. And you build this foundation of solid clients doing solid work, solid referrals, solid testimonials, and you build the foundations of letting other people shout your praises, but you have to be your own hero and recognize that you have to be your biggest fan before others can start talking about you. We naturally focus on potential risk than reward. We always are thinking, what's the worst that can happen? instead of thinking, what's the best thing that can happen? We think of what's the worst. What's the worst that can happen? What will they say about me? What if I fail? This negativity means your brain magnifies all that. And then now your mindset is full of, I can't. And you'll think about all your shortcomings instead of your strengths. Even if you're succeeded in similar situations before, self-doubt will convince you that, well, this time is different. This client is different. Are you sure you're able to do what they asked for? You've never done that before, right? I want you to get rid of this mindset thinking. The illusion of perfection. Fear tricks you into believing that you need to be perfect before starting. Again, this illusion of perfection creates that false sense of readiness as something that you can achieve if you want it long enough, right? That false sense of readiness as something you can achieve if you wait long enough. But readiness isn't about having everything figured out. It's about being willing to take action and learn as you go. Comparison fuels the fire, my friends. When you compare yourself to others and others tell you what you should be doing and how you should be doing it, especially those further along in their journey, your brain will focus on the gap between where you are and where they are. This reinforces that belief that, well, you're not ready. How are you ever going to get there? You're never going to get there. You're not ready. You have to do all these things right now in order to be where they are. And again, I'm going to ask you, do you really want to be where they are? I want you to surround yourself, you hear me say it before, I want you to surround yourself with people that are doing what you want to be doing, but you don't have to do it just like them. Follow their stumbles. Ask about their stumbles. Ask them to share the hard part of how they got there. What's the hard journey? Let them tell you the gruesome stories. Let them tell you about the sleepless nights. Let them tell you about the negative bank accounts. Let them tell you about sleeping in a car. Let them tell you about back taxes. Let them tell you about all those things. And then do it differently. You don't have to do exactly what somebody else is doing or take the exact path to do what somebody's doing with where they are. This is your story. Their story is their story. This is your story. And this is your journey. So I want you to surround yourself with those people, but don't compare your story and their journey with yours. Because if you start believing you're never going to get there, or you follow the 9 squares, or you follow on LinkedIn and see all the success somebody's having, you don't know the story behind those 9 squares. You don't know what's going on. So if you keep reinforcing this belief that I'm never going to be that person, I'm never going to have that kind of career, I'm never going to have that kind of life, even though everyone starts somewhere and grows through experience, I want you to use what they're doing. And here again, if materials are important to you, possessions are important to you, and you go to a big client meeting and they live in a multi-million-dollar house, I don't want you to think I'm never going to get there. I want you to use this $1 million house as motivation to get that, if that's what you're looking for. If they come to a meeting with you in a big fancy car, not that you can't get that car, but what do you need to do? What actions do you need to take to have that car? Use that as motivation. The things that you want, I want you to go after. Give yourself permission to put yourself first and to go after what you want, not what others think you deserve, right? So I want you to break this cycle. I want you to name the fear. I want you to acknowledge the thoughts and feelings of self-doubt without judgment. Often simply naming your fear will help diminish it and its power. So I want you to do this. Challenge the thought. Ask yourself, is this fear-based or facts or assumption? Is this fear-based on facts or assumption? If saying no to something because you're not ready, is it based on fear or facts of assumption that you would fail? I want you to really practice that challenge. Ask yourself, if the decision not to do something is based on fear, facts, or assumptions. Reflect in your past experiences when you overcame challenges despite feeling unprepared, because I bet you have them. You might have just forgot about them. And how did you overcome them, right? Take the small steps. Fear hates actions, friends. Each small step takes you to building confidence. Every small step. Every step forward, to the right, to the left, even the ones you go backwards, will move you towards your definition of success. And it builds confidence, and it proves to you that you're capable even when you feel uncertain. Strategies to embrace opportunities without feeling ready. I want you to keep having that beginner's mindset. Understand that it's okay to not have all the answers. Not having all the answers doesn't mean that you're unprepared or not ready. It means you're human. Remember when we get on our bike and we rode our bikes, we didn't know how to do it. We just got on the bikes and pedaled, and we fell down and scraped our knees, but we started doing it more often. As we get older and we become responsible adults, we think that we can't do something. We start saying we can't do something. What if we just remember that every action we want to take or every opportunity in front of us is like riding a bike? I have to just get on and start pedaling. If I fall off, I keep going. We learn the skill of riding a bike. We can learn the skill of becoming confident, of shifting our mindset, of believing in ourselves, right? Not having all the answers doesn't mean you're unprepared. Growth and success, by your definition, will come from stepping into opportunities with curiosity and a willingness to learn, not from knowing everything at the beginning. When you embrace the idea that it's okay to figure things out as you go, you free yourself from the presence of trying to be perfect and that pressure of trying to be perfect. And then you're going to find that you can open some doors to creativity, some problem solving, and unexpected possibilities. Remember, even the most successful people started without all the answers. They learn by doing. Allow yourself the same grace to grow. Now, fake it till you make it. I'm not necessarily a fan of that because I believe you're faking it. When you have skills, put them to use. They may not be as advanced skills as you think, but I guarantee you they're the tools that you need for that client. And when you're talking to that client and something comes up, I haven't done that before, but oh my gosh, I'm excited to the opportunity, and already start thinking positive things that you can do to do that. Just because you say to a client, I've never done that before, does not mean you don't know how to do it. It just means that you haven't had the opportunity to do it. This is how you start believing in yourself. So the fake it till you make it, not a big fan. But I believe that you can make it with the tools that you have. Confidence being one of them. Start believing in yourself. That you're exactly where you're supposed to be, and this client needs your talents. Sometimes the question is, but does this client match my values? Does this client offer me growth? Does this client only bring us money? And you may be at a time in your season in your life where you need this client to pay some bills. Will this client pay the bills and you still find purpose and align with your values and your mission? And will you grow from it? These are all things that you have to decide. These are choices that you can make. Not ready, not if you're ready to make these choices, right? But the choices that are presented in front of you. Be ready. You're ready to make them. Because ready is just a feeling. You're going to step into the opportunities that a client is coming up with you. So I want you to commit to learning one new skill or a piece of knowledge related once a month. Just continue to learn and grow. Continue to stretch what you know how to do. Be ready for that next level. If you stay ready, you don't got to get ready, right? Be ready. It's that feeling. Ready is a feeling. There's no need to hone in on I'm not. You're there. Ready is just a feeling. So continue to grow and continue to learn. Use the stretch zone strategy, as I like to say. Identify an opportunity that's just outside your comfort zone, but you know you can still achieve it. Say something like that feels 70% doable and 30% challenging. That's 70-30 rule. I want you to think of something that's 70% doable, but 30% challenging. And I want you to go and do it. When you step into opportunities that feel mostly within your gap and you think I can see them, I can reach them, I can go for them, but they're just outside your comfort zone, you'll create that balance for growth. You'll create that chance to challenge and stretch yourself. The 70% doable gives you the confidence that you know you can handle it, while the 30% pushes your confidence. and pushes to develop a new skill and tapped into a potential that you might not know that was already within you. That sweet spot keeps you moving forward without overwhelming you, allowing progress and momentum to build. So this week, find one thing that feels a little scary, but that's exciting, and then say yes. Because again, growth happens outside your comfort zone. Remember, finding your why. Focus on the impact you create rather than your perceived lack of readiness. Focus on the impact. Focus on the impact you create rather than that perceived lack of readiness. Got that? Focus on the impact you can make, whether you're ready or not. That's just a feeling. Maybe go back and revisit your why statement about why an opportunity aligns with your goals or purpose. And sometimes, friends, you can have a why statement for every job. What's the why behind this client? What's the why behind taking this job? What's the why behind saying yes? You have a why over your whole mission and why over your business and why you do what you do. But maybe we should really talk about, and you should experience and rethink every job you say yes to, every opportunity you say yes to. What is the why behind it, right? Write a statement that talks about the opportunity that still aligns with your goals or your purpose. Just enough. Prepare just enough that I want you to take action. Take the smallest actual step to get started. It might be sending an email. It might be signing up for a project. It might be following up with a colleague. Say yes to something that you initially said no to because you weren't ready. Take the small steps to now go after that. Take the small steps. Every time an opportunity is presented to you, I want you to just take action. Identify the first action you can think of and then commit to doing it. So if somebody asks you about booking an event or going on a speaking thing or trying something new and you said, no, I'm not ready, I want you to stop. I want you to go back and I want you to send an email, pick up the phone and call and just find out more information because you're ready. Take those steps because you're ready. If you're waiting for a sign, friends, I hope that this is for you. I know this is a little bit longer episode, but I hope that this is a sign for you. You don't need to feel fully ready to take the next step. The truth is, readiness is a byproduct of action, not the prerequisite. When you stop talking yourself out of opportunities and start showing up imperfectly, authentically you, that's when you're going to see growth. That's when you're going to dive into your potential and use it to make an impact. So today I challenge you to say yes to the one thing that's been holding you back and trust that you'll figure it out as you go. Ready or not, my friends, you are capable of doing absolutely fabulous things. All right? Show notes. Jump down. Sign up for the Be Fabbo newsletter. Till next time, my friends, you're absolutely fabulous just the way you are, doing exactly what you're doing. Thank you for showing up for me. Thank you for sharing space with me. Till next time, my friends.